guys, and welcome to our Spotlight on Square Enix merchandise. My name is Kelsey Britt. I'm Assistant Manager of the Merchandise Department here at Square Enix. Joining me is our newest recruit, Merchandise Coordinator Rich Brady.
Hey.
This year, we'd really like to shine a light on the latest addition to our division's lineup, the Final Fantasy trading card game.
Which is what I'm here for, but first, Kelsey's going to be showcasing some of the latest products that Square Enix merchandise team has in store for this year. Take it away, Kelsey.
Thanks, Rich. Now, if you've joined us in previous years, you know the history of Square Enix products, but I'll give a brief primer for anyone who isn't familiar. Though Square Enix is a world-class video game developer and publisher for titles such as Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts, we've also been well-known in the toy industry for nearly 15 years. We're well known not only for depictions of our own characters in the form of action figures, but over the years we've produced licensed products based on comic properties like DC and Marvel, video games like Halo and Metal Gear Solid, and even films like The Dark Knight. We not only produce high-end collectible action figures, but we also make figurines, statues, plushes, and silver jewelry. So I'm going to show you guys a few images of samples of those items. So here's some figurines. This is our World of Final Fantasy Static Arts mini of Tama. Here's a Static Arts mini of Shadow from Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key. We also have these amazing statues, and actually we almost sold out of it, but we had this Final Fantasy Static Arts gallery, Vincent statue, on sale here at the show floor, and this Static Arts bust of Sephiroth is available for pre-order on our online store. We also do plushes like this mini Cloud and Kupu Kopo Moogle, as well as jewelry like the Ring of the Lucii and this silver Sarah engagement pendant from Final Fantasy XIII.
So Square Enix has been in the toy business for almost 15 years?
Yep, time flies.
Oh, and this year is the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy. That means Square Enix has been creating their own merchandise in-house for nearly half of the lifetime of their flagship franchise.
Oh wait, that reminds me. Speaking of Final Fantasy's 30th anniversary, in celebration of Final Fantasy's big 3-0 milestone, we have created all kinds of great goodies that are now available for pre-order. So take a look at this Final Fantasy 30th anniversary Moogle.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yep, and this is created especially for the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary. We also have this Warrior of Light Chocobo, and take a look at this.
His hood comes off?
Yep, isn't that pretty cute?
That's awesome.
So both of these are available for pre-order on our online store. In addition to these plushes, we also have a corresponding pen set. This is a set of 2 pins with figurines of the same cosplaying Moogle and Chocobo on top.
What color ink was in the pens?
Oh, it's black ink pens. Good question. So here's another super cute piece of merchandise that you guys just peeped because I accidentally hit the slide. We're going to honor this big birthday with a ceramic mug featuring the artwork of Yoshitaka Amano, and this is featuring the Chocobo, and I think I see a little Moogle in there as well. So this adorable artwork is also featured on some t-shirts that we've created to celebrate the 30th anniversary. These aren't available for pre-order yet, but they will be ready in time for San Diego Comic-Con. These t-shirts come in 2 colors and designs, as you've seen. We have a nice heather gray one here, and light blue. We'll also have this design featured on a canvas tote bag.
All these look great. I'm sure lots of people are going to be excited about the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, our fans have been asking for more apparel for a while now, so happy to give it to you.
So the 30th anniversary stuff is great, but are there going to be any other t-shirt designs this summer?
Oh, actually, I'm glad you asked. We have some designs from Nier Automata. All of these items will be available for purchase on our online store, but they'll make their debut at San Diego Comic-Con. So this features Adam and Eve on the red shirt, and on the second shirt are the machine life forms from Nier Automata. So speaking of STCC, I can show something else, which is... Our event exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con 2017 is this Final Fantasy VII Remake Play Arts Kai action figure of Cloud Strife, and it's a limited color version. So this figure is based on Cloud's design in the hotly anticipated Final Fantasy VII Remake with a color scheme that has been inspired by Cloud's original character design in the original Final Fantasy VII. So he's a little bit more colorful than the standard version of this figure. So we actually have a sample in the studio here today, so we'll show that off to you guys. Rich is holding it right here. So let's open her up.
Open him
Ta-da!
up.
Open him up. Apologies. So that's pretty cool. I bet you guys are excited. We're going to have that available for pre-order on our online store.
So can fans only get this figure if they're attending San Diego Comic-Con?
Well, it will be available for purchase on our online store, and you can pre-order it there, as I said.
Whoa, wait, so how does pre-order work?
Well, if you can't attend SDCC, or if you don't want to pick up the product on site at the show for any reason, you can pre-order it on our online store.
And then if I pre-order it on the online store, I can pick it up when I'm at Comic-Con?
Unfortunately, no. We're not going to be shipping out the Cloud figures ordered from the online store until about a month or so after SDCC. So if you're planning on attending the show and absolutely need to add this limited edition Play Art Sky Cloud to your collection, come visit our booth in 3921 to secure yours.
Okay, that makes sense. So when's the pre-order opening?
Well, it should be going live in the next day or so. So, if you go to our link right here on the screen, it should be available for pre-order within the day. So I was planning to have it available now. Unfortunately, it's not quite ready yet. So now that we'd like to move away from collectibles for a bit and introduce you to a trading card game that's been selling out worldwide this year, the Final Fantasy trading card game. The Final Fantasy trading card game Opus series is based on the previously released Chapter series, which began with the release of Chapter 1 in Japan on February 25th, 2011. This new edition features improved game balance and card design, as well as the addition of new illustrations from recent Final Fantasy titles, and, this is the really cool part, localization into 6 languages, including English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, and, of course, Japanese. So, could you give me a rundown of how the game works, Rich?
Hold on, don't you already know how to play?
For the purposes of this demonstration, let's pretend I have amnesia and know nothing about the Final Fantasy trading card game.
Okay, well then, for those of you at home, here are all the topics we'll be covering on how to play.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to know is how to set up your field of play. Here's an example of what your field may look like during a game. I'm using a Yuna, Riku, and Pain deck for examples because they're a personal favorite team of mine.
All right, YRP, in position.
So you'll first want to place your deck to the side of your play area, while leaving room for your break zone under it.
Break zone, is that where Ash goes to take a break when she's done playing?
Sorta. The break zone is where cards go when they're discarded or broken.
Broken, so like when a character is beaten or defeated.
Exactly. Now, when you play your characters, they're separated into rows in your play area by 2 different types.
Forwards and backups.
I thought you had amnesia.
Oh, I forgot I had amnesia, sorry. So, what's a forward?
A forward is a character you use in combat to attack and block.
And a backup?
They're more of a support character, giving you the ability to play more cards or other effects to help out your forwards. Forwards go in the front, backups in the back.
Okay, so that seems pretty straightforward.
It is. But you'll have to keep in mind that you can only have up to 5 backups in play, so you'll want to choose them carefully.
I don't know if I can pick just 5, so what else?
The last zone is the damage zone.
Da-na-na-na.
Anytime an enemy attack goes unblocked, you take a point of damage.
Wait, I take a point of damage? I thought Yuna was the one fighting here.
She's fighting alongside you. So when you take a point of damage, you flip the top card of your deck face up and place it into the damage zone. Once 7 cards are in your damage zone, you lose.
Oh no. Okay, so I think I know where everything goes. But how do I actually play cards onto the field? Can I just put down whatever cards I want?
No, you'll need to generate CP. CP is a resource which stands for...
Crystal points!
Yeah. Each card has a corresponding element: fire, lightning, ice, water, wind, or earth. Some cards can also have a light or dark element, but I'll explain those in a minute. To generate CP, you'll need to either discard a card from your hand or dull a backup.
Dull?
Oh, sorry. I forgot about the amnesia thing. Dull means to turn a card sideways. This shows you can't use the card again. Anyway, dulling a backup generates 1 CP of that card's element, while discarding a card generates 2 CP of that card's element.
Okay, so I generate a bunch of crystal points, but how does that help me play cards?
Well, you'll have to generate enough crystal points to match its cost, shown on the top left of every card. At least 1 crystal point needs to match the element of the card you want to play.
Okay, wait, so what makes light and dark different? Don't I just need to generate their element to play them?
Actually, light and dark characters have no element requirement, but they also don't generate CP.
At all?
At all. And you can only have 1 light or dark character in play at a time.
Okay, so once I play a card, I can attack with it, right?
Not all cards you play are attacks. There are actually 3 different types of cards.
Other than forwards and backups.
Right. Forwards, backups, and summons. Forwards, of course, are your attackers.
Okay. I want to do that. I want to attack.
Right. They have a number on the bottom right that represents their power. Power is both how much damage a forward deals to other forwards and how much damage it can take. If a forward takes damage equal to or greater than its power, it's broken.
And to the break zone it goes.
It's almost as if you know how to play. Now, backups can help support your forwards. For example, Jill here says backups don't deal damage to the forwards you control. So she prevents any damage an enemy backup may do to your forwards.
Wait. I thought that backups were supports. Backups can deal damage?
They have all sorts of abilities, and that's one of the great things about the FFTCG. There are so many combinations of characters that go great together, so you want to find the 5 backups that best suit your playstyle.
Okay, you've mentioned a limit on backups a couple of times, but is there a limit to how many forwards you can have in play?
There's no limit. You can play as many forwards as you manage to get out.
All right, so I'll just load my deck up with lots of Vincent. He seems really powerful.
Hold on a second. You can only have 1 card of a unique name in play at a time. Unless this symbol is shown, that symbol next to the name of a card means it's not unique. And this doesn't follow the limit of 1 card in play at a time.
All right, so I know how forwards and backups work, but you still haven't explained summons.
Oh, right. Summons, as you know, are a long-standing staple of the Final Fantasy series. In battle, your characters can call upon one of these epic beings to show up for an instant and do some big, crazy ability before they go back into the Aether, Lifestream, Prismarium.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, well, in FFTCG, they work just like that. You pay its cost at any time and call on a summon to instantly perform a one-time ability, and then the card is discarded. Summons are a great way to catch your opponent off guard and really mess with their strategy.
Okay, that seems pretty powerful. So, attacking isn't always the answer. Are there any other ways to trip up my opponent?
Oh yeah, with EX bursts.
That name sounds kind of exciting.
The name suits it. Remember how I said that every time you take a point of damage, you flip the top card of your deck into your damage zone?
Mm-hmm.
So an EX burst is triggered when a card flipped into your damage zone has the EX burst symbol on the top right of the card. These are just some examples, but first let's look at Adia.
Okay.
If Adia is put into your damage zone, she can break an opponent's character based on how many lightning element characters you control. Raubon has one of your forwards deal their power and damage to an opposing forward as if they're attacked, without actually attacking. And Ifrit deals 6,000 damage to one of your opponent's forwards.
So I pay the cost of the card to use it?
No, it just happens for free.
What?
Yeah, sometimes taking damage can end up working out in your favor. You'll want to try to include as many EX burst cards in your deck as you can manage.
It would be so great if something like this happened in real life. If someone did me wrong, like cut me off in traffic, and I could just summon Ifrit. Burn them in hellfire.
That would actually be pretty awesome. And terrifying. Anyway, before you can attack, you should know the phases of a turn.
All right, I'm really itching to attack, but okay.
At the beginning of each turn, you start with the active phase, and you turn all of your dull characters upright, meaning they're active.
And then?
Well, then you'll enter your draw phase. If this is the first turn of the game, you only draw 1 card. But every turn after that, you draw 2 on your draw phase.
Okay, so now I play my cards.
Right. After your draw phase is the main phase. The main phase is when you can play your characters onto the field.
So I play my cards, and then...
Okay. Since you're so desperate to attack someone, next comes the attack phase.
Attack!
If you want to attack, you'll need to enter the attack phase. During this phase, you can't play characters, but you can make any number of attacks one at a time, and your opponent has an opportunity to use one of their characters to block your attack. All attacking and blocking forwards deal damage to each other at the same time.
Okay, but what about first strike? I'm supposed to have amnesia, but I think I remember something like that mattering when damage happens.
That's true. I guess I'll have to explain a few character traits. Characters can have traits like First Strike, which Kelsey just explained, or Brave or Haste.
Oh, right, Brave and Haste.
First Strike means they always deal damage before any characters who don't have First Strike.
Okay, well, how does that help?
Well, like I said earlier, if the damage a forward has taken meets or exceeds their power, they're broken. So a forward with first strike can potentially break an opposing character before the damage comes back at them.
Okay, so if they the enemy forward, they take no damage at all. And if they both have equal power, then the one that has first strike doesn't get broken, but the other one does.
You've got it. So Brave next.
Okay. Oh, Brave. Let's see. Brave.
All right. When you attack with an active forward, generally you dull it to show it's attacking. However, a forward with Brave doesn't dull when it attacks.
So it just keeps attacking over and over and over?
No. Your forwards can only attack once per turn. But a Brave forward is still active, so they can block or use abilities even if they attack.
Okay. I think I get it. But what is haste then?
A character with haste can attack or use abilities that require them to dull as soon as they enter play. They're quick, so they want to jump right into the action.
Ah, cool. So, back to the attacking. I dull one character at a time to attack, right?
Mhm.
But if my forwards are all weaker than my opponent's forwards, and I don't have any summons to help them, I just shouldn't attack?
Actually, if 2 or more forwards you have in play share an element, they can attack together in what's known as a party attack.
Like Red 13 joined your party kind of party.
Exactly. When your characters form a party, they're sending one attack at your opponent, but they combine their power for the attack. Yuna couldn't beat Vincent on her own, but with Ash joining her party, they have a combined power of 14,000.
Oh, so they beat him.
Well, Vincent would still be able to block and deal his 8,000 damage between them however he chooses, but Vincent costs more than either Yuna or Ash, so your opponent might not want to lose him. You really put pressure on your opponent by forming a party.
Right, so chances are Vincent won't block, and I'll get attacks through with both Yuna and Ash.
Actually, a party's considered one attack. So if the party isn't blocked, they deal 1 point of damage to the opposing player.
Okay, I think I get it now. But what's the deal with that little S symbol on some characters?
Oh, right. Those are special abilities.
Fancy. So how do special abilities work?
To use a special ability, you have to discard a card with the same name as the character whose special ability you're using, plus pay any costs associated with it. So to use Vincent's special, Death Penalty, you would discard another card named Vincent from your hand, and then pay the CP and dull him.
Okay, that seems pretty costly.
It is, but Death Penalty lets you break any number of forwards with a total cost of 7 or less, so it can be devastating for your opponent.
Whew. Alright, so even though this game is relatively easy to pick up, because even I can understand it, it sounds like there's a lot of deep strategy involved as you go along.
Absolutely. In fact, there's been a pretty big tournament scene in Japan and Europe, and we're going to be getting things started in the US on September 16th and 17th this year.
Awesome.
We're going to be having our North American World Finals qualifier in LA, where players can compete for a spot in the Final Fantasy trading card game Opus Series World Championship 2017. If you think you have what it takes, you'll want to keep an eye on social media and fftradingcardgame.com as details start to come out. We'll have more information by mid-July, so you'll only have to wait a little bit longer.
People here in the US have really been itching to get out there and prove themselves, so this is the perfect opportunity. If you're new to the game, though, you'll want to pick up a starter set before diving in.
And luckily, the starter sets for Final Fantasy 7, 10, and 13 are back in stock.
Yeah, the response to this game has been totally beyond our expectations in the best way, so we had to get more of those starters out there.
Plus, 2 new starters are out now. Starter sets for Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy Type 0 have just made it to stores, alongside Opus 3 coming out next month.
You'll get to make a team of Ace and the rest of the Class 0 cadets to overpower your enemies with their unmatched synergy in the Final Fantasy Type 0 starter set.
Or my personal favorite, Zidane, along with Garnet, Vivi, and the rest, to make your opponents fly away in the Final Fantasy 9 starter set.
Starter sets are a perfect way to pick up and play with your friends. Their decks customized with exclusive cards from the Final Fantasy installment featured on the box, so you're guaranteed to get the Cloud starter in the Final Fantasy 7 set or Tidus in the Final Fantasy 10 starter set.
Yeah, and they also include some great cards from the Opus Series booster packs, as well to help get your collection started. The decks are ready to be played as is, or you can pick up some Opus Series booster packs to customize them to your liking.
You know, you mentioned Opus 3 earlier. Do you know if there are any cards we could share from the upcoming set?
You know, that's a great idea. Here are just a few of the cards coming in Opus 3 on July 21st. Vincent has been a really popular character in the metagame, so this new Yuffie from Dirge of Cerberus is a great ally to power him up, and her cost becomes 0 if Vincent is already in play.
Nice. Oh, hey, another Class 0 cadet. So King gains power from every other Class 0 cadet I control. And his ability, Point Blank Shot, lets him deal damage to a forward without having to attack. That seems like it's going to be really strong in a Type 0 deck.
Yeah, King is a beast, but it's hard to top Lightning. When Lightning enters play, you can put any card named Odin from your break zone on top of your deck. And that's an EX burst. You remember I explained those earlier.
Oh, yes, they were exciting.
Right. So her special ability, Gestalt Drive, lets her discard Odin from her hand and a copy of Lightning to break up to 2 forwards with cost 4 or less. You know, Lightning and Odin keep popping up in Lightning element decks, so it'll be cool to see how people may use this version of Lightning.
I really do love Lightning. It's my favorite element.
And this should be a great card for you.
By the way, Opus 3 isn't the only set that's been announced. Opus 4 is on its way, slated for release this October.
Oh yeah, Opus 4 will have brand new cards featuring characters from Dissidia Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy Tactics series, and Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy. There's much more on the way to be excited about.
If you've been here at E3, and what an E3 it has been, you may have seen our Final Fantasy trading card game demo area where attendees have been learning the game and earning some sweet promos like Lightning and Sephiroth.
If you couldn't make it to E3, we're going to have more opportunities for you to try out the game and earn promos in the future.
That's right. We're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con starting Thursday, July 20th with more demos and more prizes. So please, if you're going to be there, come check us out.
We're also working on getting more organized play promos out to local shops.
So we have some more Vincent promos on their way to your local stores soon, but we are also going to have this adorable alternate art lawn photos. So we're going to show those on the camera here for you and zoom right in. Do, 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 do. So Vincent's kind of hard to see, but that lawn foil card is very, very shiny. So I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing those new promo cards. Yes, at the show floor, we've been doing all kinds of promos, and actually we were able to do a draft tournament today, so there's people out there in our demo area right now going head-to-head with the Final Fantasy trading card game.
And the winner of that tournament is going to get one of those lawn promos.
What? You heard it here first, folks.
So you can check with your local tabletop gaming store or check our store locator at fftradingcardgame.com for all the current information on what stores carry the FFTCG and are participating in organized play.
So, one more time, where can they find us for more information?
Stay tuned to Twitter, Facebook, and fftradingcardgame.com as we keep you updated with the future of the Final Fantasy trading card game.
Thank you guys so much for joining us again this year. It really has been amazing to see the response to the Final Fantasy trading card game here at the E3 show floor. We've sold out of all of the starter decks that we brought to the show. We've sold out of all of the Opus 1 booster packs we brought to the show. We
sold out of the mats in a few hours.
Yes, and we are also still selling the card sleeves for those to protect your deck. Yeah. And I'm really excited to see where this game goes, and it's really great to have Rich on board because he knows his stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for everyone who also came to our merchandise booth at E3. We've also sold out of most of our other merchandise as well. So keep following us on Twitter and Facebook, and we're going to keep getting this card game going, and we're going to keep bringing great and amazing collectibles and toys to you. Thank you all so much for your support.
Yep, thank you.